Greetings, you back-to-back CAF Champions League finalists. I am back with another match preview, bringing you guys the preview of our Betway Premiership Game 24 fixture as we host Stellenbosch on Wednesday night, 7:30 at Loftus Versfeld. I am very, very happy, as you guys can tell, man. And I'm sure everyone who supports Mamelodi Sundowns knows and understands why I am this happy, guys. Hooray. We are that close. We are very, very close, man. We are 2 games away from being crowned champions of Africa for the second time in 10 years. And yeah, man, fingers crossed. This season we go a step further, do better than we did last season. We obviously reached the final last season. And yeah, man, we stumbled, got the final hurdle, but hopefully this season, the football gods are with us. And yeah, I guess I should start there, man, touching on our CAF Champions League semi-final second leg as we hosted Esperance on Saturday night, man. But I think I need to start by congratulating Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club as a whole. I'm talking about the board of the club, the management, the technical team, the support staff, the players, as well as the fans. I think every one of us played a huge role in getting us where we are today, So heads off to everyone, man. But special mention to someone, man, to Coach Miguel Cardoso, man. I really, really hope it is third time lucky for Miguel Cardoso, man. I think I really hope the football gods are with him, I'm going to put aside Sundowns for a while. I'm just going to talk about Cardoso, man, because, hey, man, reaching 3 finals and not winning any, I do not think anyone can come back from that, man. As professional as you are, I think it would hit each and every one of us badly. So for him, for his CV, I want Cardoso to win this badly, man. And because if he wins it, we obviously win it as a club. So I really, really hope it is third time lucky for Cardoso. And yeah, man, he gets to celebrate being crowned the best coach in the continent, So yeah, man, big ups to Miguel Cardoso as well as Fleming Beck. I think I've given these 2 guys a lot of stick throughout the season. I've been very, very critical of some of the things that they have done and some of the things that they do, But it would be disingenuous of me to not give them any credit for where we find ourselves today, because they definitely played a huge role. You look at in the transfer market, getting a guy like Brian Leon, who's played a huge role in us getting to the final at Champions League, which also means really Fleming Beck played a role in helping us acquire his signature, So big ups to them, man. I think they've done a great job. So yes, man, I can't be loud when it comes to criticizing these guys, and then when the team does well, I then only give the credit to the players. Yes, the players deserve a lot of credit, but because of how critical I've been of these 2 guys in Fleming Beck and Cardoso, man, that's why I'm in a way singling them out and in me giving them credit. And yeah, man, I think we played the way you play a CAF Champions League semi-final or CAF Champions League knockout match when you got a positive result away from home. I think, yes, the first 10 minutes I was thinking maybe, hey, the guys are playing the occasion, and yeah, I was a bit worried, but we gained control of the game after that, and it was never in doubt after that, man. And big ups to Brian Leon, man. That guy is annoying. Brian Leon is annoying to play against. I wouldn't want to play against that type of striker, man, because he's a pest. He will hustle for everything, for every dead ball. Like, he doesn't give you a chance to breathe as a defender or a defense, And we saw with the penalty that we won, man. He works his ass off, and yeah, no, he's proper made for continental football, man. He's exactly what we needed in this Champions League, and hopefully yeah, man, he delivers, man. He has two more games to get us over the line, man. So yeah, once again, congratulations, Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club, not forgetting the supporters or the role that we've played as a fan base this season, man. Like I said, we're playing a very important game on Wednesday, hosting Stellenbosch at Loftus. A Stellenbosch that hasn't done well by their standards. Every season you expect Stellenbosch to be in and around the top four. Just behind the big three, traditional big three, or in and amongst the traditional big three. But things haven't gone really, really well for them. And surprising, when you look at how they started the season, they made the MTN 8 final, but their league form, man, from the onset hasn't been really, really good. I think in the first 10 games of the season, they only won 2 out of the 10 league games that they played. So yeah, man, it has not been the best of seasons for Stellenbosch, but I guess it is one of those seasons. They happen for a lot of clubs, except Mamelodi Sundowns, but they happen for quite a lot of clubs, and this is not the first time. It happened not so long ago, 3 or 4 seasons ago, and then the following season they went on to win the Carling Black Label, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it is one of those seasons where nothing went their way, and I guess with their former coach Steve Barker, I guess he had maybe overstayed his welcome. When a coach stays for so long at a club, the players hearing the same voice and maybe doing almost the same drills and getting used to everything. The training sessions start becoming boring and stuff like that. So maybe they needed to hear a new voice. I'm not saying Steve Barker is a bad coach. I think Steve is a very good coach, but hey man, when you get used to the players too much, the players get used to you way too much. Now too much, and yeah, man, you need something different, But yeah, I think they will bounce back next season. And for once they went really, really heavy in the transfer market. Went for big name players, and it's unlike them, because they always prioritize their development, So yeah, I guess it is one of those seasons for Stellenbosch, and I wonder if it is time that we go back to the winelands and yeah, man, pouch one of their players in Devon Titus, because if there's one player I would take any day, it is Devon Titus. No tricks, no flicks, just a hardworking professional player who just who's just honest, an honest, hardworking professional player, and from season to season, he's done really, really well for Stellenbosch. Yes, this season his numbers in terms of GA goals and assists are not as good as they've been in the past. Because when you look at the last 4 seasons, from when he made his debut, 2023-2024 league only. He had 6 goals, 2 assists. The following season, 23-24, he had 7 goals and 3 assists. The last season, he had 24-25 season, he had 8 goals, 8 assists, and this season he's currently on 1 goal and 6 assists. So he's a very, very good player. Turning 25 next month. So I think if he was to play for a team like Sundowns, he would. The thing with Devon is that it's not only the stats. He gives so much during the game. He's very influential in the gaming to Stellenbosch, and like I said, he works his socks off. On Friday, they were leading 3-1 in that pitch. It's almost waterlogged, and he kept running back, becoming a full wing back at times, and just helping his team graft, and those are players that I like, players who will give their all for the team, and yeah, man, I think he would shine at Sundowns, honestly. Personally, I would take him any day, man. Guys, like as we all know, we've progressed to the final CAF Champions League, and is there a possibility that maybe progressing to the final may be a distraction, for a lack of a better word, when it comes to the league, where we maybe see our players start thinking way ahead, and focusing on the final that will be played first leg weekend, that is 16 May, and then the following weekend it will be the second leg. We'll start at home, and the second leg will be away. Is there a possibility that our players start thinking about, rectifying the mistakes last season, in terms of making sure they go all out and win the final, or start saving themselves more leaking? They stop going into the challenges more leaking because they are thinking about the final. I thought about this and I was like, nah, not with this bunch of players, man. They are proper mentality monsters. These players are Sundowns, I think they will lock in. They've already locked in, I'm sure, more leaking, and they're thinking, you know what, we can wrap this league up and win it, got 12 May and clean sheet, or even before that. So we need to focus and make sure that by the time we play the first leg, the final, we've done our job more leaking. We are crowned champions once again. So I do not think making the final would be a distraction. I think for any other club, it might have been a distraction that forces or leads to them losing focus on what's in front of them at that point in time and just thinking ahead. So I really doubt the boys will do that. I think they'll try and wrap it up as soon as possible. Going into this game, I expect, as poor as Steelers have been this season, they're currently 9th on the log. But knowing Gavin, I think he will he'll set them up properly for this game, and he'll have them amped for this one to, had our chances of winning the league. It would be a huge scalp for Gavin. Gavin doesn't like losing to Sundowns. He hates losing to Chiefs, but he also doesn't like losing to Sundowns. And yeah, he's been going on more media about, yeah, man, Sundowns, Pirates, this and that and that. Nah, we must not fall for that trap. He will proper have a solid plan for Sundowns coming to this game, And recently they've used a 4-4-2 with Devin Titus playing very close to Mabasa. We know him to be a right forward Titus. Yes, at times he shifts to the right, and then at times they turn it into a 4-3-3, But in some of their games recently, they've played a 4-4-2, I highly doubt against Sundowns he will play with a double pivot in the middle and give Sundowns room, a lot of room, and numerical superiority in the middle of the park, because you have players. Sundowns may play a double pivot at Debzale Adams, but you'll have Aubrey maybe inverting, making the 3-man midfield, and then the wide forwards, the Sundowns also coming inside into the half spaces and making the overloads in those central areas of the pitch, and you find your midfielders, they are working way too much now. So I think he will play a midfield 3 and just to make sure he doesn't get overpowered by Sundowns, And the one thing that has impressed me about Stellenbosch recently, man, is how aggressive they press, in the build-up phase of the opponents, they set the pressing traps, and yeah, we saw it working for them against Sekhukhune, on Friday, man. The first goal, yes, I think, or the second goal, I think it came from Dudley. The third goal where Lina ends up making a mistake, it was because they were they pushed very high up, so would they do that against Sundowns, knowing how good we are at bypassing the press and having a ball-playing goalkeeper like Ronwen, I am not too sure. I'm not too sure. Trevor Matiani, coach Marumo Gallants, tried that at some stage in the game, Rona Lebona at Loftus a few weeks ago, and he got into situations that they could have hurt us because of how hard how high they pressed us, So maybe Gavin will think, you know what, let me take this risk and try and press them and be aggressive in their build-up phase. I saw coach Arsenal Arteta do it against City on Sunday. I thought he was going to sit back and let City come, but no, he tried to be aggressive, more pressing high against City. And I don't think Pep was ready for that. And we saw the equalizer, Arsenal coming from that, So during the game, they tried making build up your City very, very difficult. So maybe Le Gavin will go with that, But with that said, you can head them. You can definitely head them because a lot of chances and goals that they give away, it is because of situations where the ball is played their last line of defense, and their last line of defense is always facing their own goals. You look at the equalizer, Jan Love, even though I think he was offside on Friday, but a lot of chances in their recent games, when they come from that. I don't think, as good as their middle field is, Bo Palace, Bo Kima Mfano, who's been brilliant, man. Is it Mtiani, the tall central midfielder? I forgot. I think it could be Mtiani, and the Nigerian led. As good as they are as players, I do not think they give enough protective shield to their last line of defense. Hence, they are always found facing their own goals. You look at the goalie Barnes when they played Richards Bay, goal against Arrows, goal against TS Galaxy. They come from very similar situations where their defense is turned and facing their own goal. And I think we can definitely head them with someone like Reyners, getting behind that defense, So I think that's one way we'll head them, as well as total control of the middle of the park. We control the middle of the park against better teams than Stellenbosch. So I expect it to be the same. And I don't think we must read way too much into their form this season. Yes, they are ninth. Yes, they've not been performing well. They've been on and off, losing games where you think, this is not like Stellenbosch. But because they have this has a potential of being a banana skin, and they have very, very good individuals who on their day can turn it on and hurt us, So I think we need to be really, really careful going into this game, even though I still expect us to win. Our lineup, I will go for Williams, Mudau. I'll bring back Kekana to partner Damani, not because Cupido had a bad game, or no, not because of that. I just think we've reached a stage where Cardoso will play with that centre back pairing, rotate them from time to time, and I think I'll have Aubrey back for this one. I will start with the double pivot, Adams, and have Tsiki and Tabeleng in front of them. I've not been happy with Saleh since he's come back from injury, So I think Tsiki has done well in recent weeks, more leaking, and he deserves to start with our, best lineup, not the finishers, the ones that come in second, substitutes. It's Monday, guys. They are called the finishers, So I'd have Tsiki starting with our strongest team, just behind, just in front of Tibbs and Adams, and then Morena, right forward, Saling. I would give Saling a start as well, and then Reyners. I think Reyners will do the job for us in the league, and then Lyon will do the job for us in the Champions League. I think we'll win this game convincingly. I'll go with a 3-1 victory. And Rabela was supposed to have joined me for this preview, but I did 20 my teacher so Raps. I know I'm joking, guys. He caught up, he had something to deal with, and it was way too late for me to find a replacement. Hence, I'm shooting all by myself. The next preview will be on Friday. It will be the preview of our Betway Premiership Game Week 5 fixture as we travel to KZN to take on the Natal Rich Boys in Richards Bay. Until next time, sharp sharp, Masandawana.